Hey guys, Merry Christmas. I hope you're having a fantastic holiday. Yeah, I'm recording this during Christmas, sorry. Anyway, so if you were looking at my previous problem, I wanted to be able to rotate and be able to move at the same time while the rotation was happening. And root motion I couldn't use because root motion interferes with character movement. Everything I looked at suggested that root motion, because it's data-driven, does not directly go into the character movement and so on. So I decided to run this through a tick, and this is it. So if I do that, yay! And that's a very smooth, seamless transition. And if I'm not moving, I have that. I don't have the movement for flight transition, but this is what he does if he's flying at the moment. I will eventually have a transition for that. But anyway, so what I did, and what I've tried, so I'll jump into here. Where am I at? I have a little function for updating my direction. So what I'm doing, this is just extra here. I like to make copies of things until I figure out what's working and what's not, and then I'll get rid of it later. So at the moment, the way this works, the function enters, I'm running this off a sequence. If the character is currently facing right and not turning, I set the rotation to 0, because if he's not turning, then he should be. And the reason I did this is in the event that I cancel the animation, it'll snap me to facing the correct direction. I found that with root motion, if I canceled early, I would sometimes be stuck halfway through the animation and not be able to get out. So I did this instead. And then for the left, it's just the opposite of that. So if I'm facing left and I'm currently not turning, then I'm 180 or minus 180. I went with minus 180 just because I want him to rotate toward the camera, not away from the camera, so that's why it's minus in this case. And then if I have my transition, so in the event that I am turning off of my third here, if I am turning, then I'm just going to rotate. And you can see I'm still kind of experimenting with this, but this actually seems to be working without any check for that. So, but I am rotating at this rotation rate because this is the rotation rate that seems to be ideal for the current animation that's there. So that's it looking seamless. I'll have this set to a variable at some point, and I'll swap it out as I need to go. But for right now, that seems to be working. And I'm rotating in a positive direction, which is fun. And then the animation for that, so I have a couple. So let's go into the... Oh, I've been moving stuff around. You can see I have several different turning, idle turn 1, 2, 3. Originally, these were all with root motion. Look at the boots going. Sorry, he's still nude. So with root motion on, he'll do this, right? Well, I turned the root motion off. Oh, the second one of that was I baked the movement into the root motion to get that, but he would still stutter at the end of that, which caused an issue. So I decided on this one, there is no motion, there's no rotation, and there's no root motion to be driven here. So he's just kind of miming this little leg twitch and then the body turn. But the root position does not actually change, and the root rotation doesn't change. So that gets fired, and where are we at? There's nothing really special in the blueprint here. This is just, going from my idle to dash, that goes to my turn. Whatever the basic rule is for that, if I'm turning. And this one is, of course, if the turn time is ending or whatever. And I'm just running my turn 3. It's not looping. That's not all super special, but yeah. So that's all I'm doing. So I'm just rotating that, and I'm just timing it with the on tick. Now you did see that there's with my key presses, if I catch it at just the right time, I can turn without the animation kicking, but I'll just figure out the timing for that. But at the moment, it is working in a method that's useful. So, if you have a suggestion for another way of doing it, I am all ears. If you find this beneficial, yay. Oh, and yeah, that's just a function just in case. You can see my horrible graph here. That's just a function running on tick. And yeah, that's all it is. But yeah, okay. I will see you.